Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you, and let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of that coffin, so you start trying to lift the lid, but the enormous weight upon the lid keeps that lid from opening. You just think you're going to die. But then you think, maybe if I bang on the lid, I'll unsettle the dirt upon the lid, and maybe somebody standing by your grave might notice and start digging their way down to help you, to extend a helping hand. But nothing happens. You just think today you're going to die. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. That's what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help, you know you can't do it on your own, but you don't know where to turn for help. In reality, I guarantee you there's someone there that would have helped you. With this, let me leave one last thought. Don't be the person I'm reading about that went and waited and waited and waited until it was too late. Instead, be the person that reaches out and asks for help. Call me at 844-405-HELP, and I promise you I will help you take back your life. 844-405-HELP, or you can text me at 631-599-0218. My name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm from the Take Your Life Back Today show, and I'm here to help you. There are other people like Larry Geis from the Geis Academy here to help you also. You can find him at 516-458-2741 or www.odysseyconsult.org. Larry and I always tell people like you, doesn't matter where you came from, it doesn't matter where you've been. What matters is that you're here saying, I need help today, I want to change, and we, Larry and I, will try to help you get a better and brighter and sober tomorrow. Larry Geis from the Geis Academy, 516-458-2741. Let Larry Geis and I help you take back your life. Folks, I had the pleasure of interviewing, in this case it was some young people, and I asked certain questions and they gave me answers. And today's topic is frequently asked questions from young people. Why is age of first use of alcohol alcohol and drugs so critically important? Kids who start drinking alcohol before the age of 15 are 5 times more likely to develop alcohol abuse or dependence than people who first use at the age of 21. A study published in the Archives of Pediatrics and Adolescent Medicine showed 47% of all those who began drinking before the age of 15 experienced alcohol dependence at some point in their life, compared to 9% of those who began drinking at the age of 21. Can you get addicted even though you only do it once in a while, somebody asked. Yes, of course you can. For most, addiction to alcohol and drugs is a process, not an event. Most people who use alcohol and drugs do so with the intention of only using once in a while. No one decides that they want to become addicted to drugs and alcohol, but we are dealing with addictive drugs that directly affect the brain. It is easy for occasional use to change to frequent use or constant use. That is addiction. The only thing we know for sure is if we don't drink alcohol and don't do drugs, you definitely won't become addicted. Next question that was asked of me was, does marijuana use lead to other drugs? Does marijuana use lead to other drugs? While most marijuana smokers do not go on to use other illegal drugs, long-term studies of high school students show that few young people use other illegal drugs without first using marijuana. Using marijuana puts people in contact with people who are users and sellers of other drugs, and are more likely to be exposed to and urged to try the other ones. Another question, why do some people become addicted while others don't? Risk factors for becoming addicted to alcohol and drugs, like other conditions and diseases, vary from person to person. But the common risk factors include genetics, from your family history, age when you start using alcohol and drugs, and family, including abuse, neglect, and traumatic experience in childhood, and social environment, which includes alcohol and drugs, and types of drugs used. Another question asks, Should I be concerned about prescription drugs when the real problem is illegal drugs like cocaine, heroin, and meth? As a teen, you should be concerned about alcohol and all, and I mean all other drugs. Recently, there has been a significant increase of non-medical use of prescription-paying drugs among people like you, young people. In fact, after marijuana, the next three most commonly used drugs are the non-medical use of prescription medications: Vicodin, oxycodone, and Adderall. Next question was, I thought drinking and driving was the only alcohol-related risk for college students. Is that true? An estimated 1,900 young people under the age of 21 die each year from alcohol-related motor vehicle crashes, and approximately 600,000 college students are unintentionally injured while under the influence of alcohol. Approximately 700,000 students are assaulted by other students who have been drinking, and about 100,000 students are victims of alcohol-related sexual assault or date rape. And this came from the NCADD fact sheet. Another question was, what drugs are most commonly abused? Each year, the National Institute of Drug Abuse, otherwise known as NIDA, tracks drug use trends among high school students, 8th grade, 10th grade, and 12th grades. Through the Monitoring of the Future study, the following is a list of the most commonly abused drugs. And these are as follows: marijuana, Adderall, Vicodin, tranquilizers, cough medicine, sedatives, hallucinogens, ecstasies, oxycodone, cocaine, salvia, and Ritalin. Another question: can a person be too young to become addicted to alcohol and drugs? Absolutely not. And the research and experience show that the younger someone starts using drugs and alcohol, the greater the chance they become addicted as they become older. Next question. Marijuana isn't just a plant. Is it really that dangerous? No, I should say marijuana is just a plant. Is it really that dangerous? Yes, marijuana is a plant, but it has very real health consequences, including drug addiction. While some people think marijuana is a harmless drug, actually experience and the real science show a different reality. More teens are treatment with primary diagnosis than marijuana dependence than any other drugs combined. Next question: how do I know if I or someone close to me is addicted to alcohol and drugs? The short answer: if you or someone close to you is having a problem with alcohol and drugs, and you or they continue to use, it's time to get help. Continued use despite negative consequences, a powerful indicator of addiction. If you need to have it each and every day, that is a indicator. Next one: what is a standard drink of alcohol? A standard alcohol drink contains 14 grams of pure alcohol, 0.6 ounces. 1 12-ounce beer is a standard alcohol. 8 ounces of malt liquor is a standard drink. 5 ounces of wine, standard drink. 1.5 ounces of a shot of distilled liquor like vodka or whiskey. These are approximate, as different brands and types of alcohol beverages vary, but those are your standard ones. Next question: how does alcohol leave the body? Once absorbed into the bloodstream, the kidneys eliminate 5% of the alcohol in the urine. The lungs exhale 5% alcohol, and the liver breaks down the remaining 90% of alcohol. Alcohol is broken down by the liver at the average rate of 1 standard drink per hour. Nothing can speed this up, including drinking coffee, which is a myth, or sleeping it off. Are alcoholism and drug addiction generally inherited? Research shows that the risk of developing alcoholism and drug addiction runs in families. But just because there is a genetic predisposition doesn't mean that the child of an alcoholically addicted parent will automatically become addicted. Parents, not all children of alcohol addicted parents get into trouble with alcohol and drugs, and some people develop alcoholism addiction even though no one in the family ever drank or used. Next question: can alcoholism and drug addiction be treated? Absolutely yes. I'm proof of that. Alcoholism and addiction can be treated. Alcoholism and addiction treatment programs can help a person stop drinking and using drugs. Treatment has helped millions of people stop drinking and drugging, rebuilding their lives, and live a life in long-term recovery. I think prescription drugs might help me feel better, someone asked. Is it okay to use them every once in a while? You or your friends might think prescription drugs are safer than alcohol drugs because doctors prescribe them. But these drugs can be just as dangerous. When prescription drugs are used without prescription, they can be as dangerous as alcohol or illegal drugs. You can die from abusing prescription drugs, even if it's the first time. These are the questions, and I'm not going to go into the answers again, but here are the questions. Why is age of first use of alcohol so critically important? Number 2 question was, can you get addicted even though you only do it every once in a while? The next question was, does marijuana use lead to other drugs? Why do some people become addicted while others don't? Should I be concerned about prescription drugs when the real problem is illegal drugs like cocaine, heroin, and meth? I thought drinking and driving was only alcohol-related risk for college students. What drugs are most commonly abused? Can a person be too young to become addicted to alcohol and drugs? Marijuana is just a plant. Is it really that dangerous? How do I know if I or someone close to me is addicted to drugs and alcohol? What is the standard drink of alcohol? And I'm talking about, when I say standard, I mean in volume. How does alcohol leave the body? Are alcoholism and drug addiction genetically inherited? Can alcoholism and drug addiction be treated? And I do want to answer that one. Yes, yes, yes. And last, I think prescription drugs might help me feel better. Is it okay to use them once in a while? Folks, these are questions that were being asked by young people, your children, your grandchildren. And there are probably thousands of other questions. These are the most commonly used questions. It is so critically important that we educate our young. If you have a drug or alcohol problem, why would you want to pass that on to your children or your grandchildren? Why? That's why it is so critically, so important that we as parents or grandparents lead by example. We are the hero. We are the role model. If you have to smoke marijuana, you have to drink, you have to do drugs, you have to use profanity, do it outside the home. Don't do it in front of your children. Children look at us and they do the monkey do, monkey see syndrome. If they see you drinking, they're going to think it's okay. If they see you smoking, they're going to think it's okay. This is why it's so critically, so important that we lead by example. Remember, you help to write the chapters in the book of life. Each year of your child's life represents 1 year. So from the ages of 0 and 18, you are totally responsible to write the first 18 chapters of their life. Don't let those chapters include them witnessing you drinking, drugging, using profanity, and God forbid physically abusing. Instead, let those 18 chapters include love, respect, compassion. Those are the ingredients to bringing up children that will go into our environment and live a good life. Let today be the first day of your new life. I hope these questions helped not only with your own children and your grandchildren, but helped you to realize that it's not okay to drink and drive. It's not okay to use prescription drugs unless absolutely medically necessary, and it's not okay to drink or drug or use profanity in front of your children or grandchildren. I hope to God today you have the best day of your life, but I hope you have the rest of your life is a sober life, and I hope and pray that you daily thank God for another day on this earth, for one day will be your last day. May God bless you.